What's up, folks? I'm Chris, your NFL writer here at OccupyFantasy.com, here with a look at the single game showdown slate on DraftKings and FanDuel for Sunday, August 14th, between the Minnesota Vikings and the Las Vegas Raiders, here to close out the first week of the NFL preseason. See on the screen here, the Las Vegas Raiders defense are our favorite play on this entire slate, any format, low risk, high risk contests. Raiders are 4-point favorites in this game, and typically, according to our research, a defense is in the winning lineup in high risk contests in preseason week 1 showdowns at least 80% of the time. That's based off of a study of winning lineups in preseason week 1 over the last several years in preseason DFS. So the Raiders would be our favorite play on the entire slate. I think you should play them, particularly at captain and low risk contests, maybe a really strong play today. Now, also in those contests, historically, at least one wide receiver and one quarterback is featured in winning high-risk lineups. Looking at the last couple of nights of action, we had the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers play on Friday night. Subscriber Luck Dynasty Beard took that down with a wide receiver captain paired with the quarterback Jordan Love from the Green Bay Packers. The other thing here to look at is he had a maximum of 2 players from each position in his lineup. So we only had 2 receivers, Romeo Doubs, Danny Gray here from the Niners, Jordan Love, Danny Etling from the Packers, Tanner Hudson at tight end, Robbie Gould at kicker. This is typically the winning formula. We have found that it is extremely rare for 3 players from the same position group to be in the optimal showdown lineup in preseason week 1. So one of the rules that we think are really strong for any type of lineup optimizer that you use, we prefer you use our lineup builder, but there's plenty of good ones out there. You should set yourself to a limit of a maximum of 2 quarterbacks, running backs, or wide receivers or tight ends in your lineups this evening in high-risk contests. Very, very unlikely that more than that will end up in the optimal lineup in tournaments. Now, last night, we did see a game that bucked the trend a little bit. We had a bunch of wide receivers from the Los Angeles Rams get into the winning lineup. Our favorite play, Lance McCutcheon, was the winning captain with a couple of touchdown receptions. Bryce Perkins played the whole game for the Los Angeles Rams, and Chase Daniel had a really strong first half for the Chargers, so 2 quarterbacks were in the winning lineup. But we had 4 wide receivers in this winning lineup because this ended up being a pretty high-scoring preseason game. Just understand this is actually not the typical result. This is an atypical result in a showdown contest. On to to this afternoon's action. Other than the Raiders, who I think are a really strong play, probably better in flex in high-risk contests, we found that a wide receiver is typically the most optimal play at the captain spot on preseason showdowns. I think the Raiders have a slightly better offensive situation going right now, so we feel like they'll have more success completing passes to their wide receivers. The number 1 wide receiver that we like for the Las Vegas Raiders is Tyron Johnson. So Tyron Johnson is probably the number 1 ranked play that we will publish in our daily plug for a captain consideration in high-risk contests this evening. Tyron Johnson had a really strong game against the Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game. I think that he will get a lot of attention once again from Jarrett Stidham, Nick Mullins here in preseason week 1 against the Vikings. Now, historically, looking at what new Raiders head coach Josh McDaniels has done in preseasons when he was offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots, he actually kept his quarterback usage pretty similar across preseason week 1, preseason week 2. So we think that Jarrett Stidham, who played basically half the game last time out, will probably be in a similar situation today. We don't have a firm confirmation on that, but we do think Jarrett Stidham is a strong play at quarterback on this slate. With the Vikings, they have only 2 quarterbacks that are going to play. Kirk Cousins is out. He tested positive for COVID-19, so he will actually be inactive today and maybe miss a couple practices after that. But Sean Mannion and Kellen Mond will split this game. Sean Mannion is going to get the start at quarterback, so he's another one of our favorite plays on this slate. Consider him a high floor play in this single game environment because he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Vikings. Probably going to play at least a half of football for the Vikings today. The new Vikings head coach, Kevin O'Connell, came over from the Los Angeles Rams. So we have a sneaky suspicion that he will have similar playing time trends as Sean McVay. Sean McVay keeps a pretty tight rotation of players in preseason, and they are typically 3rd, 4th, 5th unit players. We saw that last night with the receivers and the running backs, and the 1 quarterback who played the entire game. Looking at the running back position in preseason week 1 last year for the Rams, we had Xavier Jones, who was their running back 3, Jake Funk, running back 4, and Raymond Calais, their running back 5. Split the entire game, played between 27 and 39% of the snaps. With the Minnesota Vikings today, Kenny Nwangwu is running back 3, Ty Chandler running back 4, Bryant Koback is running back 5. I think one of Nwangwu and Chandler are probably going to see, one of these two guys will see the most work today. For the purposes that we have here in this video today, I think Nwangwu is the slightly better play. He'll probably start the game. These are some of our favorite plays on this slate. Keep an eye out for the daily plug at occupyfantasy.com. That'll post about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the 4:30 game between the Vikings and the Raiders. Please subscribe to the channel. We've seen that 60% of our viewers are not subscribed to these videos. If you like this kind of stuff, we would appreciate it if you do that, because then you'll get notified the very second that we have something that comes out for you to watch. Good luck today, and we'll be back next week with more talk about preseason week 2 in the NFL.